Founded in 2012 as a one-stop shop for supply chain planning expertise, our combined experience helps plan the supply chains of some of the world's best-known brands. Key to this is our people, enabling our teams and our customers' teams to deliver high-value outcomes. Much like the Wasps coaching team and players, our people are central to our business. Our teams are built on a shared passion for delivering high-value outcomes. Our passion for supply chain is demonstrated through our industry and result. This drives us to make a difference and stand out from other service providers. When beginning an engagement with new customers, we often hear, "Why didn't we know about you earlier?" Our association with Wasps Rugby is one big step to improving that. Stephen, thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm a big fan of Wasps. A lot of my colleagues are big fans of Wasps. The purpose of this session today, it's great coming to the venue, having a look around. We've developed a relationship over time. We are the official coaching team sponsor, and we're really proud to be that. So, have you had an official coaching team sponsor before?
No, I don't believe so. I mean, I've been here 18 months, and we certainly didn't have one when I arrived. But it's been fantastic to get that focus. And I think what's been good for us about it, other than working with a fantastic partner like Olivehorse, has been almost getting the coaches to understand. One of the coaches actually said to me, "Well, why would we have a sponsor and a partner?" And I explained, the kind of similarities between what they do in terms of leadership and coaching and mentoring and motivation versus what supply chain management business would be as well. So there are a lot of similarities between what we do and what you guys do as well. Once you peel back the veneer, I think what it also does is the very remit that you guys have and what you do and your talent management and recruitment, etc. It gives us a great kind of external viewpoint on things as well. When I overhear the conversation that you guys are having, it's very similar to what we do. So I think it's wonderful to have people like you almost holding us to task, with regards to what we're doing, how we're doing it. People that are genuinely interested in some of the things that we do. How do we analyse performance? How do we recruit talent in? How do we make sure that we can attain excellence in an ever-changing market and in a very competitive market? So I think that's a really good fit.
There's a huge theme in the globe right now of digitization, right? And there's a lot of organizations going to digital, right? And we take a very broad focus of the organization. Our key process is called integrated business planning. And it's quite interesting because I should imagine, in your role in Wasps, you have to run it. It is a business. We see on the weekend sport and everyone gets very excited and we enjoy it. But behind the scenes, if you could just tell me a little bit about how you run the business.
Yeah, as an organisation, actually 85% of our revenue, of our turnover comes from non-sporting activity. Makes sense. Conference, events, exhibitions, weddings, concerts, music strategy, etc. So, and that has to fund the playing department, which is effectively a cost centre. Right. So it's a much larger organisation. We get over 2 million visitors a year to the arena, looking at everything that we do and how we do it.
In terms of allowing the players to make decisions on the pitch and deal with the circumstances that are in front of them, if a game isn't going to plan or maybe the weather conditions have changed or the opposition's not playing in the way that you expected them to play, how do you manage that? Do you do some kind of scenario planning beforehand, a bit of contingency planning?
It's probably one of the hardest things because you've got certain things that you've got to get through in a week to training. You're probably not a ridiculous amount of time free for the scenario stuff, but you have to put it in. It's things we put in place. So I know you guys have been down here today, and today's session we put in 4 scenarios that could happen at the weekend. We've had strange situations this year where we've lost key players, we've lost 2 hookers in a game, so we've got no one to throw into the line out. But we'd actually trained for that. So you're getting that. A situation you would never expect to happen, but we've trained for it. We're doing a lot of the moment to see out games. We've got a lot of younger guys that probably haven't been in situations that they're in. So it's educating them on those decisions, but it's putting them out there and putting them out under the pressure on the training field that it feels comfortable in a game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess it's performing under pressure making the right decisions under pressure, and you need a few decision makers that are going to do that for you.
And you've got to put them under that pressure during the week. We're always aiming to train above match intensity. So we're trying to get the boys when it comes to a match day, because there's other pressures match day, but you've got crowds, you've got the pressure of the result, so there's other pressures in, but in terms of the intensity, we want to be training at a higher intensity, so when it comes to the game, it should be easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and there's some similarities there in the supply chain world where you need to have 2 or 3 decision makers that are going to, not saying split second timing, but in good time, make those decisions for you, weigh up what's in front of you, understand that everything's not going to plan, things change, and they need to make those decisions for you. And the fact that you've been through a scenario planning process means that they're ready to make decisions. It probably doesn't match any of the specific scenarios that you've thought about. There's always something a bit different.
Yeah.
But the fact that you've been through that thinking means that they're ready to at least make decisions at that point. So.
Yeah, definitely. I think that the big thing you said there was you've got 2 or 3 key leaders. Leaders are massive. So when we get under the pressure situations, that's where you need your leaders to step forward. And we're having conversations. Yes, we're having a lot of conversations with the team, but also we're having separate conversations with certain individuals who are leading. And look, sometimes in games, especially when the heat comes on, the pressure comes on, you're probably getting, as you would do in business, you're getting 10, 20 people with their opinion.
Exactly.
But you need your leaders to say, right, I've taken all that on board. This is what we're doing, and we're all clear that this is the way we're going. And one thing I'm just reiterate throughout, I want people in at Wasps to challenge me. I don't want to be dictating everything. I want them to challenge everything we do. In the end, we'll have to make decisions, and I'll have to make decisions, but I want people's opinions. Because we've got people that are pretty intelligent in terms of what they can bring, and sometimes I'm wrong.
Absolutely. I think once you've made that decision, the communication then is the key thing, isn't it? Is that everybody understands the decision that's been made and is playing to the same tune at that point.
Collaboration is one of our company's strongest values, right? Collaborating with our clients, but also collaborating internally. For us, it's critical because you've got some exceptional, experienced consultants who then have to work with maybe graduates or people who've got one project behind their back. How do you stimulate that process of collaboration between the youngest and the top internationals?
Yeah, we set up a mentor scheme actually a couple of years ago. In regards to the younger guys coming through, and would mentor, buddy them up with a senior player in the same position and someone that's enthusiastic to do it. So maybe a senior player that's interested in coaching or been in the club for quite a while and kind of understood our values across the last few years. And involving our senior players a lot. Our leadership group is superb. We use them an awful lot as a coaching team and trying to get a feel from them of where the team are at, where the younger players are at, and if there has been any splits, which honestly we've not had. I can't think of what I've been coaching here, and that's probably mainly down to that senior player group.
Yeah, I think for us, we've got a mentorship program as well. So whether you're a principal consultant right at the top of your game or whether you're a graduate to come in, there'll always be a mentor. Do you involve those mentors in the objective setting for the younger players as well?
Yeah, we'd probably speak to them a little bit around the younger players' goals, where they're trying to get to, what they feel like they're working towards, and then we try. Rugby's you can make rugby really, really complex. There's loads of different parts of the game, but probably try and strip it down to the 2 or 3 most important areas of that player's game that are really going to make a difference to them achieving their goals. Instead of focusing on absolutely everything, what are the 3 big fundamentals that are going to really make the difference? And try and make the mentors pretty aware of that before they have the chats. But you don't want to overdo it with the mentors. I think it's quite nice to be natural and let them lead conversation. I think sometimes I've made mistakes in the past, try and guide the senior players, the mentors too much in a certain way that becomes unnatural and a bit forced. So yeah, that'd probably be our process around it.
No. Excellent, thank you very much, Matt. It was great understanding the more the transition side of bringing people. The game is about people at the end of the day, and so is Olivehorse. You know, we a people business. That's what we do. So thanks so much for the
Thanks for
insights.
having me. Cheers.
When we thought this up initially, one thing really, phrase rang through my mind. It was about coaching players and coaching planners, right? Because we're in a supply chain plan. Like you said, organisations don't want to see a bunch of consultants from Olivehorse running around, but they really care about the KPIs, the result that they're producing. So similarly to how Lee and the coaching team organise the team, we spend a fair deal of time looking at maturity and assessing the organisation.
Yeah.
But it's quite interesting because, and I should imagine you do the same, when we look at it through that window of the organisation and what the organisation's objectives are, we then bury down to the individual and the capability. So the capability over every player on that pitch. Obviously, you're going to have, your board has set you certain objectives and tasks for the year. So you look at the capability of the players, and then we look at what improvements we need to make within the organisation and to the individuals.
Yeah.
And actually, what we do is we don't try and constrain them in a way of operating. We actually try to create more space by giving them productive time. We don't want to keep their minds busy. We want them to be able to be creative within the spaces of an organised approach. And so we implement that within the organisation, and then once that's happened, really that's when the journey begins, because you guys will train, right? And then come the weekend, the journey's began, guys. And so once that journey begins, that's when Olivehorse really, a lot of our business is coming from actually driving continuous capability growth. And that's how we build relationships with organisations long term.
From our perspective, I sometimes keep it stupidly simple, but it's about good people, obviously. But those good people need to have an understanding of what the bigger plan is. Our wider plan for the venue is to be the #1 venue in the UK for sports, business and entertainment. Now, the only way we're going to get there is with a plan, with right leaders, but leaders that can make decisions.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of where we try to get to. Get that group in place, give them the gravitas to go and
to be able to go out and make the decisions.
Go out and nail it, make the decisions, and then that goes across everybody, and making sure that whether you're a scrum half, a coach, you work on reception or you're on the board, we've all got the same understanding of where we're trying to get to. Absolutely.
Stephen, it's been great. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for your time. Good morning.